Chapter 14. Economic Activities Around Us. The root of prosperity is economic activity. The lack of it brings material distress. The absence of fruitful economic activities endangers both current prosperity and future growth. What is Arthashastra? The big question. First, how are economic activities classified? Second, what differentiate these activities to be grouped into sectors? Third, how are three sectors interconnected? Introduction. In chapter 13, we learned about two types of activities, economic and non-economic. Activities that create monetary value are called economic activities. We also learned about the importance of non-economic activities. To understand these activities better, we will learn how economic activities are classified and what differentiates them in this chapter. Monetary value. Value of something that can be measured in terms of money. Over the decades, the number of economic activities has increased tremendously. For example, earlier most people were involved in activities such as agriculture, livestock rearing, production of tools, pottery, and weaving cloth. As societies progressed, the number of economic activities through which people earn their livelihood increased vastly. Today, there are diverse economic activities such as manufacturing, computers, mobile phones, and drones, working in banks, schools, and hotels, driving various types of vehicles for transportation, making furniture, tailoring clothes using machines, creating software, repairing refrigerators and washing machines, etc. Classifying all these activities help us to understand how they function and the links they have with each other. The classification of economic activities into economic sectors. Some economic activities share similar characteristics and based on this, they can be grouped together or classified into broader groups called economic sectors. The three main types of economic sectors are primary, secondary, and tertiary economic sectors. The illustration on the facing page maps out the board activities under these categories. Economic sectors. Board groups that include various activities that help with the economic prosperity of a nation. A. Primary activities. Those economic activities in which people are directly dependent on nature to produce goods are known as primary activities or primary sector. Economic activity. Primary sector, the group of activities that involve excretion of raw material directly from nature, such as farming, fishing, forestry, etc. Classification of economic activities into economic sectors. Primary sector, agriculture. Secondary sector, construction. Tertiary sector, healthcare. Then, again in primary, mining. Secondary, manufacturing. Tertiary, trade and logistics. Then again, fishing. Primary, water supply. Secondary, communication. Tertiary. Raising livestock, primary, solar power, secondary, banking, tertiary, forestry, primary, electricity production, secondary, transportation, tertiary. For example, work involving cultivation of grains and vegetables from agricultural farms, collecting wood from the forest, extracting coal from mines, fish from fisheries, eggs from poultry farms, etc. are all primary sector economic activities. The most common primary activities are agriculture, mining, fishing, raising livestock, forestry, etc. Below are some of the types of activities within the primary sector. greenhouse farming, mining, fish farming, fishery, forestry, raising livestock. Think about it. Can you think of any primary activities that you may have seen in the past? What are the natural resources used in these activities? Name two of them and discuss your experiences with your classmates. B. Secondary activities. Economic activities in which people are dependent on output of the primary sector and transform them to produce goods are known as secondary activities or secondary sector economic activities. The secondary sector includes the construction of buildings, roads, etc., and providing utilities like water, electricity, gas, and other such necessities. It also includes the manufacturing of products in factories and production units to process raw material from primary sector into some other form that can be further sold or consumed. Some examples of secondary sector activities include the processing of grains obtained from agriculture field to make flour in mills, extraction of oil from groundnut and processing of tea leaves to derive tea. Similarly, wood from the forest is converted into furniture and paper. Cotton is used to make clothes and steel from iron ore is used to make automobiles like cars, trucks, etc. Secondary sector, the group of activities that involves processing of raw materials derived from primary sector into products for sale or consumption. Automobile factory, textile factory, pharmaceutical factory, furniture production unit. Don't miss out. Types of automobiles. Number of units produced in India in 2022. Passenger vehicles like cars, 45 lakh. Commercial vehicles like trucks, 10.3 lakh. Three-wheelers, 8.6 lakhs. Two-wheelers, 2 crores. Source, Society of Indian Automobile Manufacturers. Let's explore. Now that we have seen some examples of secondary sector activities, can you name two more economic activities in the secondary sector? Tertiary sector. All those economic activities that provide support to people involved in primary and secondary activities are called tertiary activities or tertiary sector economic activities. These include service that we may not be able to see, but which still play a very important role. For example, the driver of a truck transports grains and vegetables from the farm to a factory or the market. The fruit or vegetable vendors sell the farm produce to household consumers. Similarly, doctors, nurses, teachers, lawyers, and pilots provide their services to those who need them. There are technicians who repair and service electronic items, including mobile phones and televisions, machines who repair vehicles like cars and tractors, and electricians who ensure regular supply of electricity. Their services make our lives easier. Similarly, communication services through mobile and internet, software development and services at hotels, restaurants, banks, schools, hospitals, airports, shops, warehouses, etc. are all examples of tertiary sector economic activities. This sector is also called the service sector. Tertiary sector, the group of activities that involves the provision of services which complements both primary and secondary sectors such as transportation, banking and management of business, warehouses, large buildings used for storing products before they are sold, used or rented out to shops. Software development, services at restaurant, services at airport, retail stores. Interdependence among sectors. The three types of economic activities or economic sectors play an important role in the process of conversion of natural raw material into finished products. For final consumption, let us go on an imaginary excursion to a village in Anand district of Gujarat to study an interesting example where we will understand how the three sectors are interconnected and support each other. Dairy cooperative from farm to plate. These days, farmers in Gujarat greet the day with the clinch of milk pails and the happy moos of their best friend, their cows or buffaloes. Cows have a special place in the lives of farmers and their families. The farmers milk the cows and sells their milk to the dairy nearby. At the end of month, they get paid for the milk based on its quantity and quality. However, this was not the case about 50 years ago. Dairy, a place where milk is collected and stored. This is an amazing story of a milk cooperative named Anand Milk Union Limited, Amol. In early 1940s, farmers in Anand district would sell milk to neighboring villages. They would have to cycle or walk to nearby villages to sell the milk under scorching heat. As you know, milk spoils or curdles very fast in hot weather. The farmer had to sell the milk quickly before it would spoil. This was a lot of effort for the small amount of money that would earn, so they depended on people called middlemen, who would buy the milk in bulk at major prices from the farmers and sell it in the market. Many times the farmers felt cheated and harassed by the middlemen. One day the farmers collectively approached the Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, a prominent national leader, with their problems. He advised them to form a cooperative to become independent and stop relying on the middlemen. As a cooperative, the farmer would be able milk as a group, taking care of entire operation of milk collection, processing and distribution themselves. The farmer took Sardar Patel's advice. Amul was set up in 1946 under the leadership of Tribhuvan Das Patel, lawyer and freedom fighter, Dr. Varghese Kurian, an engineer who was working at a dairy factory in Mumbai. Cooperative, a group of people who voluntarily come together to meet their economic and social needs in a formal way. They own the cooperative and decisions are taken by the members collectively. Middleman, person who buys goods from producers and sell them to consumer. The middleman charges a fee for these services. Varghese Kurian left and Tribhuvan Das Patel right. These initiatives brought farmers, including women, together and gave them control over the production and sale of milk. The milk producers collectively made their own decisions on all matters such as production, pasteurization, and sale of milk. The tasks were shared by everyone, which helped raise their income gradually. They did not need the middleman anymore and became like one big family. Pasteurization, a process by which milk is preserved through heating to a specific temperature to kill harmful bacteria. As more and more farmers began to see the benefit of the cooperative, it continued to grow. The quantity of milk that was being collected was so huge that the farmers decided to make other products out of it. They set up a factory in Anand and began to produce butter and milk powder. Today, the cooperative has a wide range of products made at many milk processing plants and factories all over India. You can name a few. The products are then transported and sold in both small and large retail shops all over the country. In fact, they also export the product to several countries around the world. Is it not amazing? Factory, building or groups of buildings where goods are manufactured or various components are put together to make a final product. Retail, the sale of goods in small quantities for use by the end consumer rather than for resale. Export, goods and services that are produced in one country and sold to buyers and consumers in another country. In this fascinating story, the farmer of this cooperative milk their cows to sell the milk later. The kind of economic activity is called a primary sector economic activity because the product milk is derived directly from a natural source, cow livestock. Milk is then processed and converted from one form, liquid, into another. Milk powder, ghee, cheese, butter, and many others in the factories. These economic activities are called secondary sector economic activities. What does Amul do with all products it makes? It sells them in various places. Amul uses lorries and trucks, as well as railway, air and shipping services to transport its products. It has set up retail stores and supplies milk and milk products to other shops in towns, cities and villages all over Gujarat, as well as in different states across India. Here, transportation, trading, and retail is a tertiary activity. Don't miss out. Just like Amul, there are many other milk cooperative under brand names such as Nandini from Karnataka, Mother Dairy from Delhi NCR, Avin from Tamil Nadu, Vijaya from Andhra Pradesh, KV from Nagaland, Sudha from Bihar, Verka from Punjab, etc. Can you name one cooperative around you that has helped groups like farmers, persons with disabilities and women to come together and has brought prosperity to their lives? With the help of the images below, let's see how the books you study are made. The images show the transformation of pulp, wood and fiber of a tree into paper and after printing into textbook. Trees cutting, wood are collected, then it is transported, then sheets are made. Figure 14.1. None of the activities that were part of the process from extracting pulp from the trees to make paper and finally producing the books would have been possible had it not been for all three sectors working together. Think about it. Observe the different stages of the process shown in figure 14.1 on page 206 and discuss them with your fellow classmates. Let's explore. Label the picture in the illustration figure shown in figure 14.1 on page 206 as primary sector, secondary sector, tertiary sector. Don't miss out. These days, used paper is recycled to make new paper. Recycling just 1 ton of paper saves 17 trees as well as 2.5 cubic meters of landfill space. Where waste is dumped, it also takes 70% less energy and water to recycle paper than to make new paper from wood pulp. What are different ways through which we can judiciously use paper in classroom and offices of your school? Let's explore. List the economic activities in your neighborhood and label them appropriately as primary, secondary, or tertiary. Draw arrows to show how they are interconnected. They are connected to each other. In what ways are they dependent on each other? What would happen if one of the activities ceased to exist? Before we move on, in these chapters we learned about the three sectors of economic activities. The various examples and illustration help in understand the difference as well as the interdependence between the three types of economic activities or sectors, primary, secondary, and tertiary.